Bienvenidos a Zona Kite, el primer programa de TV dedicado al universo del kitesurf. En Kite en primera persona, vamos a conocer la historia de Christian Grabow, un piloto de Lufthansa que descubrió el kitesurf y no para de volar. En Viajando con el Viento, seguimos a Tom Hebert y Reno Romeu en una nueva aventura de North Kiteboarding. En Kite Calendar nos vamos a Meliquina, en donde los biguás volvieron a ser los protagonistas en el preselectivo para los Juegos Olímpicos Juveniles Buenos Aires 2018. En Kite School te mostramos cómo comenzar desde el agua en una tabla de foil. En el clip del día te seguimos mostrando los videos más extremos, locos y bizarros del kitesurf. Llegó la hora de entrar en la zona donde volar es posible. Esto es Zona Kite. Durante nuestra visita a Spirit Kite Beach en San Isidro, Argentina, nos encontramos con Christian Grabow, un rider alemán que trabaja como piloto en Lufthansa y recorrió el mundo kiteando en spots increíbles. No se pierdan de esta historia en Zona Kite.
Hi, I'm Chris from northern Germany. I was born and raised in Hamburg. That's a city on a huge river, and it's close to the Baltic and the Northern Sea. I'm a pilot and really travel around the world, and I'm here at Kite Beach in Buenos Aires and just went kitesurfing with a colleague of mine. I've always had kites. Even as a small kid, I used to build them with my dad. And then later I had the first kites that were steerable. And then when I used to work for a software company, one of my co-workers said, we're going to do a kitesurfing course. And he actually booked it for me, and I said, okay, I have had kites all my life and now I'm going to learn kitesurfing. That sounds nice. And then on the first day I got really hooked. We had a really strong wind, up to 30, 35 knots, and I was instantly fascinated by the power that the kites had. And then I just sort of kept on with it, and that has been since 2001. I'm a pilot, and I have been a pilot for the last 15 years. And we start on short distance, so it's inner European, and then I didn't take my stuff with me. It was just too short time in the hotel. And now for the past 4 years I've been flying intercontinental on a jumbo 747, so I fly the really large airplanes. And we got a couple of days off. Right now I'm sitting at Buenos Aires and we have 2.5 days off. So I started bringing my own equipment. And I do that because it really gets me to places where I couldn't kitesurf in any other way, because there's no one there, or there's no rental. And really, for me, a kite is a wing. It behaves as a wing. It's the same physical laws apply. So I'm a pilot, yes. I'm a kite surfer. I love all things that fly. They're always elegant. Nothing flies that's not beautiful. It's just the law of aerodynamics that shapes it in a way that makes it beautiful. So now I take my equipment with me to be able to really go out where I want it. To just take the beach that I want and say, well, I'm here, here's the wind, and I can go. The coolest places where I kite surfed. One of them is definitely north of Vancouver. That's a kite spot. It's called Squamish, and it's in between the mountains, and it has nothing to do with the normal wind that you have. It's sort of very local wind system. It's because there's a glacier, loads of ice on the mountains, and the air falls down on one side, so it has to come from somewhere. And there's twice an S bend in the fjord, And so on second S-bend, you get the winds from 2 o'clock in the afternoon right until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And another really nice place was Hong Kong, which is sort of unusual to go kite surfing there. Everyone says, can you kite surf in Hong Kong? Yes, you can. It's on South Lantau Island, and it's really just a small fishing village that's there. And the first time I went, I didn't have shoes with me, and they said, you cannot do this. And I said, I've come like for a 12-hour flight, so I'm going to go kite surfing. And then afterwards I found out why. I've never cut my feet so bad, because they grow muscles there, and especially sharp ones. So I had cut my feet, and then the pads were bloody. But other than that, it's really spectacular because you have the jungle right next to the spot. And another one where I think no one probably goes except the locals is in Japan. It's close to Tokyo. Name is Kujukiri. I didn't even know the spot, so I had a Japanese guy write down the name of the beach, gave that to the taxi driver, but he dropped me somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So I was all alone on the beach, and then the wind came up and I saw kites going up way far away. So I started walking, and 2.5 hours later I was at the spot, and I asked the first guy if he spoke English, and he said, yeah, I do. And I said, all right, I want to go kite surfing, so I need equipment, I need to rent stuff. And he said, yeah, that's good, because I'm a kite renter really. I own the shop, so what do you want? So he gave me new equipment. So after 2.5 hours walking, I was out on a Japanese beach all by myself. That was really a nice spot as well. I have 2 sons, little kids, which I'm teaching kite surfing now, and I tell them always that the wind does not listen and the waves don't look. So when I'm out there, I'm all by myself. So sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm angry, but I can basically be whatever I like out there, and it's just the waves don't care and the wind doesn't care either. So I feel just happy.
Sigamos a Tom Hebert y Reno Romeu a una isla paradisíaca en Australia, Cocos Island. En estas aguas desiertas y ventosas, probaron el nuevo Evo y tuvieron sesiones que recordarán de por vida.
Cocos has only been part of Australia for about 25 years, and there's a very limited amount of housing and infrastructure. This place is special because of the isolation, so that's its advantage, and in some ways it's disadvantage, because it does mean you have to do a bit of foraging, look for food, look for cray, look for fish, and you know, you can't come here and expect to eat a particular diet. You've more got to eat the diet that the island provides. And I've always had a theory about this place: you cannot take from the island without giving something. So if if you want a crayfish, you got to give a bit of blood to the reef, you know what I mean? It doesn't just let you have something. You want to catch a fish, that's great, but I can guarantee you the next fish, you're probably going to give it to one of the local sharks. You want to get some limes, well, wouldn't hurt to clean a bit of the lime trees up a bit, you know, get scratched, get burnt by the sunshine doing it. So that's what it is. It's not a taking island, it's a give and take island. And if you remember that when you come here, you'll have a really good time.
Kiteboarding in Cocos Island, it's incredible. I think the best word that describes this place is paradise.
For me, it's uncomplicated. It's an awesome climate. The people here are pretty laid back, and there's not too much stress about anything at all.
Everybody knows each other, they help each other, and they trust each other.
On the other hand, it's lots of fun. You know, the ocean's incredible. The sea life, I love diving and surfing and fishing and all that kind of stuff. And so the sea life out there is just amazing. There's so much wind here, and then seeing the guys kiting was pretty dynamic.
The wind is very consistent, not so strong, but it's perfect, you know. It's very nice and steady to do some tricks.
If you want to get here, plan it, book early. You can't just lob up and expect to, you know, enjoy the joint.
Los Biwás son un grupo de jóvenes riders argentinos que están representando al país en diversas competencias de kite en la modalidad de Twin Tip Race. En Kite Calendar nos vamos al lago Meliquina en Neuquén, en donde tuvo lugar del 12 al 15 de diciembre un evento que forma parte de la serie selectiva de la Asociación Argentina de Kite para competir en los Juegos Olímpicos Juveniles Buenos Aires 2018.
Para mí el kite es un deporte hermoso que yo lo disfruto desde que empecé.
Aparte de un deporte, algo que puedo compartir con otras personas.
Es agarro el kite, entro al agua y me olvido de todo. Me ayuda a despejarme, me ayuda a pensar, me ayuda a todo, me ayuda. Es como una nube.
yo creo que todos tenemos en claro que lo que pasa en el agua queda en el agua.
Y la verdad que somos como muy compañeros y está bueno.
Que pase lo que tenga que pasar, que quede el mejor de los B-Boys seleccionado para las Olimpiadas.
En esta edición de Kite School, para los riders que estén con ganas de aprender a usar una tabla de foil, vamos a mostrarte cómo aprender a hacer el water start con el instructivo de la North Kiteboarding Academy. El comienzo desde el agua con una tabla de foil puede ser bastante complicado al principio, pero la recompensa de volar por encima del agua hace que la espera valga la pena. Primero, necesitas ir a aguas más profundas, así que gira la tabla hacia un lado y acércate haciendo body drag. Con el kite hacia las 12, toma el lado de dedos por el borde y posiciona tu codo en la cola de la tabla. Comenzá a aplicar presión a través del foil y tirá del lado de dedos del borde para girar la tabla a su canto upwind. Con la rodilla trasera en la cola de la tabla, posiciona tu pie al principio de la almohadilla del pie delantero. Al dirigir tu kite hacia abajo, posiciona tu pie trasero en la almohadilla para el pie. Al empezar a ponerte de pie, cambia tu peso corporal hacia el pie delantero para prevenir que la tabla se levante. Mantén tu rodilla delantera flexionada y el peso corporal en el pie delantero. No gires la tabla como si fuera una tabla de kite normal. Mantén la tabla plana en el agua. Luego, a medida que ganes velocidad, el foil se levantará del agua por sí solo. Repitamos los elementos clave. Gira la tabla y posiciona tu codo en la almohadilla. Al pararte, cambia tu peso corporal hacia el pie delantero. Logra velocidad y espera que la tabla se levante del agua por sí sola. Disfruta tu aventura con la North Kiteboarding Academy. Esperamos que esta información les resulte útil y recuerden siempre consultar con su instructor de confianza. Si ya creías que el kitesurf era un deporte extremo, esperen a verlo a Jesse Richman enfrentándose a alguna de las olas más grandes de Jaws en Maui, Hawái.
In the last 10 years I've spent pretty much full time traveling around the world, competing on the world tour, doing different events, and now the last few years more so just trying to find really extreme locations and really extreme riding conditions to test my limits and the limits of our gear and kind of see what you can do with a kite. I mean, Maui is kind of like the ultimate training ground. You have not only perfect conditions pretty much year round, but you have one of the biggest, best waves in the world to ride, and that's Jaws. And 10 minutes from my house. It couldn't be any closer.
Nicolo at Piahi was trying to get barreled, and he came on a big one from really deep, and he realized it wasn't going to barrel for him. And it's a risky thing doing that because you're coming from behind the lip, so you're either going to make it and get a nice barrel and come out, or you're going to get lipped in the head. And he could see he wasn't going to make it, so he tried to pull the eject button and get out of there. And he sent his kite trying to jump over the wave, and he just didn't quite get high enough. And I think he actually went to like the worst possible height he could. If he was a little bit lower, he would have like scooted under the lip and popped out the back, but instead he just went straight into the lip and just did the kung fu kick, and the thing just hit him and pulled him down.
So with a kite, you have the ability to kind of escape different situations, which is really awesome. And it's a judgment call. It's, you know, really split second that you have to kind of decide what your next move is. And there was the possibility that Nicolo might have been able to jump over the wave, and it would have been the cleanest, smoothest, easiest exit. Everyone would have been like, oh, wow, that's cool. I got to see Nicolo's wipe out, and that was one of the funniest, best things I've ever seen with a kite. And only he would come up laughing about it, you know.
Zona Kite es tu zona. Vos también sos protagonista de nuestro programa. Mandanos tus fotos y videos a ZonaKite TV para compartirlas en nuestras redes sociales. Esto es todo por hoy. Los esperamos en la próxima edición de Zona Kite.